So, very good evening to one and all. Good evening, children. So, welcome to the e-learning class. Today class is about is related to class 10th, paper 2, 13th lesson, liberation movements in the colonies. Already in our previous class, children, we discussed about China. We discussed about how China fought and attained the independence and then led to the China on the way of development. Today we are going to discuss about another colony, the colony Nigeria. So where is Nigeria? Children, when we look at the map of Africa, we find Nigeria towards the west coast of Africa. Where do we find, children? We find Nigeria towards the west coast of Africa. Okay. So Nigeria, we find it is a country that we find in the west coast of Africa. Nigeria, the people of Nigeria, they unite together through their tribal identity. Children, as you all know that for a long time, African countries were very backward, and it was also called as a dark continent. Okay, because the people were very ignorant, people were very backward, people that did not know anything about their valuable resources, and people, they used to live a very a backward life in a groups of tribes. So here the people of Nigeria, they united through the tribal identity. Each and everyone, they were living in the different tribal groups and they were having the different tribal identity. So Nigeria. Children, Nigeria country, it was created by Britishers. Okay, Nigeria country in Africa, it was created by the Britishers. Where they created that they joined the different groups, different regions, the regions that are situated around the Niger River. Which river? Niger River, and later called that area as Nigeria. So Nigeria created by the Britishers around the Niger River. Okay, so in those days, especially, there were 3 different tribes were living in Nigeria. So we can also say that the 3 different parts were there in Nigeria. When you see your textbook, when you look after your textbook, you can find there is one map is there, and in the map you can find it out, children. In the northern part of Nigeria, the tribe that was living by the name Hausa Fulani. The tribe that were living towards the northern part of Nigeria was by the name Hausa Fulani. And these were the tribes who were generally Muslims. Okay. Then towards the southeastern part of Nigeria, the tribe that was living by the name Igbo tribe. You can find it Igbo, but it's pronounced as Igbo. Igbo tribe, where towards the southeastern part of Nigeria. And then towards the southwestern part of Nigeria, the another tribe lived by the name Yoruba tribe. What was the name, children? Yoruba tribe. So Igbo tribe, southeastern part, Yoruba tribe, southwestern part. These 2 tribes, they followed Christianity. Okay, so Hausa Fulani, Muslims, and Igbo and Yoruba tribe, they were the followers of Christianity. I hope it is clear. So what was Nigeria, children? Nigeria we find towards the southwest part of the country Africa. This country, we find that it was created by the Britishers by combining the different regions of around the river Niger. And here we find the people, they know each other by the tribal identity. There were 3 important tribes were there by the name, what was the name, children? By the name Hausa Fulani, Igbo and the Yoruba tribe. Okay. So children, after this one, children, what happened? Every time we found that there was a conflict between these 3 regions. What were these 3 regions, children? The regions of north, the regions of southeastern part of Nigeria, and the regions of southwestern part of Nigeria. And there was a conflict among the 3 major tribes of Nigeria. Then what happened, children? River Niger. River Niger, children, as you all know that it's an area where we find river areas are mostly densely populated. So river Niger, the areas around the river Niger turned as the most densely populated. That means more people that settled over there to get the water resources and to get the other resources from the river Nigeria. So it is termed as the most densely populated region of that particular area. Then by the 16th century onwards, what happened, children? Nigeria, this area, turned as a center for slave trade. Already when you were there in the 9th class, we discussed very well about what was a slave trade. So here, the tribal peasants were captured forcibly and they were sold to the different European countries of the world as a slaves. So this trend was there for a very long time, children. When did it start, children? 16th century onwards. Slave trades were started, children, over in this particular region. Okay, and then afterwards, children, from the 19th century onwards, 19th century, this slave trade was abolished. When was it started? It started in 16th century. When was it abolished, children? It was abolished. This trade was abolished in the 19th century. Then what? By up to this time, the Britishers, not only Britishers, almost all the European countries of the world, they came to know about the resources of Africa. And then they started their trade based on the agricultural produce of Africa. That is agricultural produce of Nigeria. Then this Britishers, by this colonial power, they started the trade of the two important products, palm oil and cocoa. You know very well what is palm oil and what is cocoa. They started the trade of palm oil and cocoa. Then by the 1861, Britishers, they established the rule over the coastal area of African countries, of Africa. Which country started rule? Up to now, they were just the traders. But now, they started their rule over the coastal area. And under this only, children, they turned Lagos, one of the country of Africa, this area, children. Lagos turned as a center of administration. Means they started how the colonial power they did, children. They not only they occupied that area, but also, children, they started ruling by making the one area as a center of administration from where they can pass the rules and regulations. So they made this Lagos as a center of administration. They made this Lagos as a center of trade, and they made this Lagos as a center of education. That means they made this Lagos for administration, trade and for education. I hope it is clear, children. So what we discuss in this one, that continuously there were a conflict among the three regions of Nigeria. Okay, and by the river Niger turned as the most densely populated country, the area in Africa. And then here by 16th century, the slave trade was started by the European countries. What did they do, children? They used to purchase the force, peasants, tribal peasants, and they sold these peasants to the other countries as slaves. By 19th century, this slave trade was abolished, but the European countries, they found the new way of the trade, that was by the means of, they started trading on the agricultural produce of Africa, that is on cocoa and palm oil. 1861, Britishers, what they did, they occupied the coastal areas of Nigeria. One of the area by the name Lagos. They turned this Lagos as a center of administration, as a center of trade, and as a center of education. So this was a condition, children, of Nigeria, that how the Britishers and how the other countries of the world, they established their trade and they established the control over the Nigeria. Then, after this one, children, what happened? The there was a struggle for colonialism started. Not only the Britishers. Now Britishers started their rule over the Lagos. By seeing this one, what happened? The other European countries of the world, they too start, children. They too wanted to start their rule, their control over the countries of Africa. And that led to the problem of colonialism. That led to the problem of colonialism. It was a struggle of colonialism. That means making of number of colonies in Africa. The struggle of colonialism was started, children. And not only that, by this colonialism struggle, the different movements were started by the people of Africa by the name Pan-Africanism, Pan-Nigerism. The movements that were started by the people of Africa. Then, after this one, children, what happened? The Britishers, they followed a policy called as racism. Racism was a policy, children, that was followed by the Britishers. What was this racism, children? Racism is nothing but that discriminating on the basis of race, on the basis of colors, that is black and white. So the Britishers, they started the racism policy because now, children, they started ruling the Nigeria. They started ruling the area of Lagos. Okay. So what they did, they started differentiating the people on the basis of their race. That is blacks and white. Racial discrimination they started. And under this racism, children, what the Britishers did, children, they started ruling the country on the basis of divide and rule. They started the country ruling on the basis of divide and rule. What was this divide and rule policy? It was found that, children, in Africa, as just now I said, the education was also started. The educated Africans were neglected to get any political seat, any political position, or any good position. They were discriminated to get civil services. Who, children? Educated Africans were discriminated. They were completely removed of getting civil services like IAS, IPS. We say children and the civil services. So these educated people were discriminated. Not only this one, children, what happened? This discrimination started against the African entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs means the owners, the organizers, those who do the business. So those who were blacks, they were not allowed to do anything. Those who were white, they were having all the things still. And again, we are having the next lessons where we are going to discuss about this racial discrimination. There were a lot of discrimination there, children. Britishers, though they were ruling Africa, they were ruling the people in their country, but they did not give any power to the Africans on the basis of colors. So this was, children, racism, and they followed the divide and rule policy. Then what happened, children? South Nigeria got access to education. That means they started education, got access to education. The people of South Nigeria, they got access to the modern education comparing to the people of North Nigeria. North Nigeria was still under the traditions, control of traditions only. But South Nigeria, people, they started taking the good education. So North Nigeria. So what is this, children? North Nigeria was completely backward as they were following the traditions. So it was completely backward, children. North Nigeria. Then now what happened, children? Britishers, what they did, we discussed the south of Nigeria, eastern and western. There were two tribes were there by the name, what were the tribes, children? By the name, towards the southeastern part, the tribe was Igbo. Towards the southwestern part, the tribe was Yoruba. Okay, the tribe was Yoruba. Okay, so what the Britishers they did, they divided the southern part of Nigeria and they called these areas as Eastern Nigeria and this area as Western Nigeria. Okay, they divided the Nigeria as Eastern Nigeria and Western Nigeria. What they did? They divided the parts of Igbo and Yoruba tribes. So these Britishers, I said that they started the policy of divide and rule. So what they did, these Britishers, they created the conflict, misunderstandings. Okay, against these three, these three tribes. So these three tribes, every time they were busy in conflicting, fighting against each other. Then where was the chance to develop children? So these three tribes, every time they were having the conflict against each other and led to the competitions, and that was followed by the Britishers. Then what happened, children? Even whatever the educated class was there, educated class, just now I said that South Nigeria, they were getting the education. So educated class, they came to know about this divide and rule policy of the Britishers, and they rose their voice against this divide and rule policy. Who, children? Educated class of this area. So what they did, they started, this educated class of Nigeria, they started struggle against the Britishers by turning the minds of the people, by making them to aware what Britishers, not only Britishers but other colonial power they were doing to Nigeria. So they enlightened the minds of the Nigeria that Britishers are playing with all these people, Then when all these things were going on, children, one of the retired British officer by the name Herbert Macaulay. This was a person, children. Herbert Macaulay, he founded NNDP. He founded NNDP. NNDP, full form is Nigerian National Democratic Party. What is the full form, children? Nigerian National Democratic Party. See, children, one of the British person only, he established one party in Nigeria by the name NNDP. The name of the party, Nigerian National Democratic Party, was established, and this party was established in the year 1923. This party was established in the year 1923. So this party, NNDP, turned as a major party. This was, we can say, as the first party, national party of Nigeria. It won all the seats, children. 1923, 1928, 1933. Whatever the elections were conducted, children, this party won the majority of seats. Which party? NNDP. This party won all the seats, children, in all these elections of 1923, 28 and 33. Then 1930, Macaulay, he supported even this NNDP to attack on the British officers. That means this person, though he belonged to the British personnel, though he was a British personnel, but he supported the NNDP to attack on the British officers. This is about Macaulay. You have to remember this one because it is in history. Year and the person you have to remember. So Herbert Macaulay, he founded in the one party, first party of Africa, Nigeria, by the name NNDP, Nigerian National Democratic Party, in the year 1923. This party was the first party of Nigeria that won the elections in the year 1923, 1928 and 1933. Even this person, he encouraged, he supported that NNDP to attack on the British officers also. Then next party, 1936, another party was formed by the name NYM. 1936, another party was formed by the name NYM, that is Nigerian Youth Movement was started. What was that, children? Nigerian Youth Movement was started in the year 1936. Who was the person who started this movement? The person who started NYM was by the name Nnamdi Azikiwe. That is Nnamdi Azikiwe. The person who established this party was by the name Nnamdi Azikiwe. You have to remember this name of this person, Nnamdi Azikiwe. So this person who established this NYM, children. This person, what he appealed to all the Nigerians. This person, he appealed to all the Nigerians that not to fight, to unite against all the colonial power and to regain whatever they lost because of this colonial power. So what happened, children? This NYM, very soon it became a very powerful movement, children. It became a very powerful movement. Then 1944, Macaulay and the leader, NYM leader, Azikiwe, they agreed to form NCNC. Who, children? One more party was formed by the name NCNC. Who formed this party? Macaulay. Just now we discussed Macaulay and Azikiwe. They formed the party called as NCNC. So what is the full form of NCNC, children? So NCNC is nothing but National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons. The name is National Council of Nigerians and Cameroons. This was a party that was founded by the two important leaders by the name Macaulay and Nnamdi Azikiwe. The name of the party was NCNC party, the NCNC National Council. So very soon what happened? This person, Azikiwe, he became one of the important leader of Nigerian Revolution. So this person, Azikiwe, he started the movements called as Pan-Africanism. This is important for the examination point of view, children. Pan-Africanism. What is this Pan-Africanism? This is an idea that promotes the unity among all the people of Nigeria against the injustices, against the racial discrimination, and this what we call Pan-Africanism, it tried to develop equality to provide justice to the people of Africa. Remember, children, what is Pan-Africanism? Pan-Africanism is nothing but the idea that promotes the unity of all the African people against the injustices, against the racial discrimination, and to promote justice, to promote equality in Africa. So this was a movement called as Pan-Africanism. Not only Pan-Africanism, another movement was there by the name Pan-Nigerianism. Pan-Nigerianism, that is to develop the same feeling among the people of Nigeria, to unite the people towards this movement against the Britishers. So very soon what happened, children? Nigerian soldiers, trade unionists, all they joined this movement Pan-Africanism, and by the year 1945, a strike was organized by the trade unionists. A strike was organized by trade unionists. I hope up to here it is clear. 1936, NYM was found. It was a Nigerian youth movement. Who was the founder? Founder was Nnamdi Azikiwe. So what he did, children? This person, he established this one to join to develop a feeling of unity among all the Nigerians. And in 1944, one more council was formed by the name NCNC, that is formed by Macaulay and the Azikiwe. What is NCNC? National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons. This was called as NCNC. And then what happened? Very soon, Azikiwe became the very important leader of Nigerian movement, and he started Pan-Africanism and Pan-Nigerianism. This is a very important one for the examination point of view, children. Okay, then in this one, children, we find that the movement, this movement, now Pan-Africanism and Pan-Nigerianism, it was very strong in the South Nigeria. It was very strong in South Nigeria. Now, why this movement was not strong in North Nigeria? What was the reason? The reason you know very well. South Nigeria mostly it is having the population educated people. Population of educated people. So South Nigeria, this movement spread very fastly comparing to the North Nigeria where the people were very backward because of the traditional and the other things. So by the 1950, three important political parties were emerged in Nigeria. What were the three important parties? NCP, NCNC was another party, and the another one AG. So already we discussed the full forms of this one, children. NCP, National People's Congress. NCP, it means National People Congress. National People's Congress. This was formed, the children, in northern part of Nigeria. Northern part of Nigeria, we find that that is formed as NCP. Then, beside this one, the another party that was formed was by the name NCNC, National Council for Nigeria and the Cameroons. What is that one? National Council of Nigeria and Cameroons. This NCNC, children, it was formed in NCNC was formed, children, towards the eastern part. And the last one, children, is AG, that is Action Group. This is Action Group. This was formed towards the western side. This was formed towards the western side of Nigeria. So these were the parties that were formed, the children. So I think up to now it is very clear to all of you that how the Nigerians, they struggled. Okay, how the Nigerians, they struggled. Who started the first party? Herbert Macaulay, then followed by the Azikiwe, and then afterwards, children, we find that the different parties were formed and everyone, they started the different movements to unite the Nigeria, to struggle against the colonialism, to struggle against all the colonial countries. Okay, then after this one, independence of Nigeria. So in the 1st of October 1963, Britishers, they declared Nigeria as an independent country. Nigeria got independence. It's a very good news that after a long struggle, at last Nigeria got independence. So just now we discussed there were three important parties were there. NYM, NCNC and AG. So what happened as soon as Nigeria got independence? So what happened? Very soon a struggle started among these three groups. A struggle started, and what happened because of this struggle? A civil war started in Nigeria. Means people started attacking on each other, attacking on the soldiers, like and so on. So as soon as the civil war was started, so what happened, children? In Nigeria, the military, they came forward. The military of Nigeria, they came forward, and not only they came forward, children, this military, they occupy the control over Nigeria. They occupy the control over the Nigeria. Who? Military. So very soon what happened? Complete Nigeria was under the control of militaries. So these military people, though we know that military are having all the weapons, are very trained people, they were very corrupt. Militaries were very corrupt. So they joined hands with all the private entrepreneurs. So these militaries, what they did, children? These militaries, they joined hands with the multinational companies. And they started exploiting the resources of Nigeria. See, children, after a long time they got independence, but very soon it went to the hands of militarism. And military, along with multinational companies, they started what you call they were corrupt, and they started over exploitation of Nigerian resources. Okay, so Nigerian which resources? Palm oil and cocoa. By 1950, 1950, in Nigeria, resources were found. Resources of oil. Oil resources were found in Nigeria. Which resources, children? Oil resources were found in the, where it was discovered, children? It was discovered in the Niger Delta. It was discovered in the Niger Delta. Then what happened, children? In this one we find that military, anyhow it was under the control of military, and that too multinational companies also are partners of the military. So almost all the multinational companies, they moved towards Nigeria and they gave the rights to exploit the resources, the oil drilling. They gave the rights to Dutch Shell Company. Dutch Shell Company got the right to exploit the resources of Nigeria. So Dutch Shell Company got the right of oil drilling. So can we say that with this everything finished? No, children. So here we find that Dutch Shell Company, they got the rights of oil drilling. That means definitely now we are going to discuss about the ecological disturbance in Nigeria. They were the private people, that too military. Why could they think about the development or the protection of the environment of Nigerians? So what happened in this over-exploitation of these oil resources? It led to the what we call destruction of ecology of Nigeria. Led to the destruction of ecology of Nigeria. Ecologically, Nigeria was spoiled. So the coastal environment of Nigeria was disturbed. Coastal environment area of Nigeria was disturbed. What they did, children, in this one? So these people, what they did, they started oil spilling. First one, they started the oil spilling from the wells. They started taking out the oil spilling. Number one. What is the number two, children? The number two is that the oil spilling, children, definitely we find this time in the coastal area. So they started, when they started exploiting this oil from the coastal area, they completely contaminated, means completely by the time while taking off the oil, because that time the technology was not good, they contaminated the water of the coastal area. Because of that, the marine life was in danger. It led to the danger of marine life. It led to the danger for the drinking water. Completely drinking water also contaminated. Number two. What was the number three? They completely disturbed mangrove forests. Mangrove forests were disturbed. Okay. That means when the oil was taking out, children, and when the oil from this wells to the other area, when they were trying to transport, children, oil used to spill, fall down. Because of that fall down, that chemicals that were present in the oil, that it get mixed with the soil. Because of that, the agricultural area, the forest area of the Nigerian coast was completely disturbed, completely destroyed, children. So what happened? And in this one, 1990. Okay, up to here I think it is clear. In the year 1990, children, what happened? The number of environmentalist movement, as we are moving towards the path of development, the environmentalists, means the people who work to save the environment, they came forward. And in the year 1990, one of the environmentalists by the name Ken Saro-Wiwa, he came forward against this environmental ecological disturbance of Nigeria. Okay, he rose his voice, he protested against the military and all this corruption. But unfortunately, this person was executed. This person was killed because he rose his voice against the military, because it was under the control of military. So still we can say that, children, though Nigeria got independence in the year 1963, but still the people of Nigeria, they are fighting for the sake of what we call the rights. They are fighting to save their environment. They are fighting to maintain the ecological balance, but it is not under their control, because complete country is under the control of military and the oil corporations, private or multinational oil corporations. So children, this is a lesson about the liberation movement. So in China, the movement was successful, but in Nigeria, the movement was successful, but the people, they struggled a lot, and still today they are struggling in the country to get their rights. Okay, I hope the lesson is very clear to all of you. This name is very important. Ken Saro-Wiwa. Who was he? He was an environmentalist. He was executed. Why? Because he rose his voice against the military people who were completely disturbing the environment of Nigeria by over exploitation of oil resources and the other problems. So I hope the lesson is clear. So what is your work? You have to go through the textbook, read the lesson continuously, line by line. You read it, children. Okay, and if any doubts will be there, you can just call me, children. And it's now the time to leave. So thank you one and all, children. Okay, ma'am.